Hello my friends, it's Gabriel with the Last Huntsman Outdoors here. We're out here doing a little patrol. Got my Helicon Tex chest rig on, got my good old prancing pony little duty rifle out here. Doing a little patrol, but it's time to do some ranting too. So this has been kind of an ongoing trend that I've been seeing on YouTube and other media platforms for some time, and so I'm gonna call it the Gear Queer Tactical Elitist Crew. So the Gear Queer Tactical Elitist Crew, they're gonna sit there and tell you that if you don't have that $5,000 rifle, $10,000 worth of night vision equipment, the $600 Cry precision pants that makes you look extra giga gay, and all the latest and greatest tactical fashion wear from, you know, the tactical elitist equivalent of Abercrombie and Fitch. And of course you got to have your $400 just chest rig, but it doesn't even come with the straps. You got to buy the straps separately because they're extra giga gay like that too. They're going to tell you that you're not good enough and you shouldn't even try. And what I'm going to say, and right off the bat, this ain't going to be the video for the soft-eared type of person. I'm going to go a little bit of Marine Infantry veteran mode, but that's straight up fucking bullshit. So pardon me right off the bat. My personal opinion, one, I think these guys that's pushing that narrative, I think there's a couple things going on. One, I think they're equating gear with skill, and I think they're full of shit. But the other is, I don't think that they're really all that squared away to begin with. So my opinion, that I see a lot of these guys that pushing this on the YouTube and or social media space, is they most likely are some suburban or even urbanite. They live in an apartment or a duplex or even a house in town, and they equate having the latest and greatest gear fashion with actually being not only tactically squared away, but also even from a preparedness mindset. And I am of the opinion, I've said this to other guys in my circles that I've trained with and stuff too, I'd rather see a guy with his PSA carbine, one that actually gets out and uses it and trains with it. The guy with his PSA carbine or his beat the shit SKS out on a homestead on a farm and able to produce his own food with 6 months of food put back, than the guy with the Daniel Defense and night vision goggles and all that good stuff. But I also think some of these guys are pushing this, I think there's a psyop going on, and I think the psyop is, unless if you have all this stuff, then you shouldn't even try. And so it's basically a demotivation tactic. And here's the thing, people said it before, you don't necessarily have to know that you're part of a psyop and still be pushing a psyop. And what I mean by that is, you know, a lot of people, when they hear the term psyop, they think, oh, it's some Fed boy working with other feds to push some like psychological operation and narrative and stuff. And yeah, that's true, that does happen. But I think a lot of it too is just guys that eats their own bullshit basically. And it's kind of like I said, they equate gear with actual skill. You know, it's like Jacob Peterson has said on his channel before, he'd take a guy that trains pretty regularly and that's squared away with a high point carbine versus any random jackass with, you know, latest greatest gear. So my overall message here is don't let some of these guys that's on the YouTube space, and here's the thing, I'm not going to call out anybody in specific, but we know who they are, okay? They're the ones that's telling you don't be a poor, don't be this, don't be that, blah, blah, blah. But the truth and the reality is, those are just characters on a screen. For all you know, I'm just a character on a screen, okay? You have to do you. If things ever went awry, whether it's some like actual catastrophic, apocalyptic type of event, or just even a, you know, home defense scenario, guess what? That tactical elitist douchebag on the YouTube interweb ain't gonna be there to protect your family. You are. So he is not doing anybody any service by basically telling you to give up, don't even try, unless if you have, you know, this unlimited checkbook worth of gear. And that, you know, that's something else too. I kind of pointed out earlier. I'd like to see how actually prepared some of these guys are. Because if they're spending all that money on just basically range toys, then what do they got for land? What do they got for livestock? Or how are they going to eat their next meal? Because, you know, a lot of people don't realize this, but in war and in most economic collapse type of scenarios, guess what? More people starve to death than they ever do die in the Call of Duty wannabe fantasy land. So just something to think about. Something else to kind of think about too is, yeah, if you're spending $5,000 on a rifle and 10 grand on you know your MVGs that'll run out of batteries in the first night in a real world situation, are you also able to arm your friends, your family? You know, that's something else that some of these guys don't talk about either. Yeah, I'd rather have 10 dudes with basic PSA carbines ready to go than one dude with a SCAR. You know, just something to consider there as well. So, kind of wrap this little rant up. I think some of these guys are completely full of shit. I think some of these guys are probably feds themselves pushing a Fed boy narrative, and some of them probably are just full of shit. So don't let the psyop demotivate you. Get out there and train, get out there, hike, use your gear, hike around with it, do some drills with it, get some training if you don't have any, all that good stuff. And as always, be prepared both physically and spiritually. God bless, and carry on.